We have a wonderful family history of this property. I actually am the 6th generation owner of this property. My daughter also has an interest in it, and she is the 7th generation owner of this property. There was a man named Parnell that settled in this area in the early 1800s. The first record I have of him acquiring land was in 1818, before Alabama was a state. But he must have owned a lot of acreage, and over the years it ended up where I own this property, which is about 600 acres. The name of our place is Foothills, and Foots is a nickname that I go by, and it was a nickname that my father and my grandfather went by. And we have a lot of hills and valleys, but because of the hills, we decided to call this place Foothills. When I first began coming down here was in probably early 2000s. There were no roads, there were just remnants of old roads. And what was a lot of fun for Allene and me is that we looked at topo maps and we said a road ought to go here, a field ought to go here, and then we eventually decided where we were going to put our house. We have a good mix of pine and oak. We first planted some pines in the year 2004, and then those were loblollies down by Mulberry Creek. And then in 2010, we cleared some land across 45, and in 2012 planted 40 acres of longleaf. Up on top of this hill, it's more conducive to planting longleaf, more so than loblolly, just because of the soil conditions. One of the more fun things that we've done on this property is about 6-7 years ago, we did some clear cutting, and we opened up an area on top of the hill behind our house, and we saw that we had a terrific view westerly towards back towards Selma, about a 15 to 20 mile view, and we built a gazebo that we go to a lot. We have cookouts, we go up there and read, drink coffee, watch sunsets. A lot of times I love to turkey hunt, and a lot of times during turkey season I will go up there and call and locate turkeys and try my luck. But it's one of our favorite places to go to. About 10 or 12 years ago, we built a cabin here. And it's sentimental to me because we've owned the land for such a long time. A lot of the timber in the house was made from lumber that came out of a warehouse that Allene's family owned for exactly 100 years. So it's very sentimental to her, and it's sentimental to me. In 2010, Brian and I met, and he came out here and did an extensive plan for my property. In fact, we've basically done everything that Brian suggested that we do. One of them is clear cut this area where the gazebo is I was telling you about, which turned out to be probably the best thing that we've done. When I took over this property, it was a chance for me to take something and make something better. And I just love coming down here, and it's a great way for me to get away from my office, to enjoy some quiet time, basically, like I said, renew my soul. And for that reason, I love coming down here, particularly when I have people like David Chandler and PJ and JJ and John Pirtle to help me. We had the Chilton County Landowners Tour 2 years ago, and it was a wonderful event. We thoroughly enjoyed sponsoring it. There were about 140 people that came. It was in October. We had a great picnic in the barn, lots of buggy rides around the property, and it was just really a lot of fun. John Pirtle has had some foresters out here, And we intend to have more educational events here. I'd like to get some scouts here, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, and some other people.
More open.
My advice to landowners would be to have a plan and to involve people that you know can help achieve that plan, because it's obvious that I cannot do it myself. And I have to depend on a lot of people to help me do what we do here. And by choosing the right people and staying on top of what you're doing, and follow through. Don't just do it halfway. Don't take on too many projects at one time. But if you can, prioritize what you need to have done and follow through with it and get it done, and then move to the next project. So it's just a place for us to enjoy the beauty of nature. It teaches us what God has done and how He touches our lives every day when we're down here. My objective is to improve the timber value, do what's right for the land, enhance the wildlife. But we have reached a point in this property where I think we have it under control with the help of the men that I've mentioned. I think our timber is in good shape. We'll always have to maintain our timber, always have to maintain the structure here. But I think that one of my favorite sayings is by Willa Cather. She was an American novelist in the early 1900s. And her saying is, "We come and go, but the land is always here. And the people that love it are the people that own it, even if it's for just a little while." And that's the way I feel about this property. I think we have it where we would like to be, and at this time I want to relax and enjoy it.